Start this. Okay. Go ahead.
Kimberly Buczynski, Chief Compliance Officer for Roads.
Make sure you're speaking it.
Yes, got it.
Okay.
Kimberly Buczynski, Chief Compliance Officer for Roads.
And spell your last name for the court reporter.
B as in boy, UCHINSKY.
Okay. Next.
Bob Moser, and I'm a fire protection expert.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. Could you repeat that name again, please?
Robert Moser, MOSER.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Peters, PETERS, and I am the architect on the project.
All right, Jeffrey, could you raise your right hand where swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Robert, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Pradeep Parekh, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel. I'm Matthew Wojcik, LMI supervisor.
John Dimes, fire code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay, could you read that into the record, please, Deb?
This is case number 1 on today's agenda, MI 2026-000117 for 1900 Kitty Hawk Avenue.
Okay. All right, where we left off last time, you were going to get some information back to us. If you could please proceed with your presentation.
That's great. Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to come back. I'm going to turn it over to our expert, Bob Moser, in a few minutes or seconds, but just wanted to go through what we've done, how we've answered the questions. We appreciate the opportunity and additional mitigation that we're proposing. Questions that were asked of us at the last meeting was to distinguish between what is required by code versus what the mitigation that we were proposing. Jeff Peters is here and can answer any detail, but basically we were this was section 910 of the code where there's a requirement for smoke vents and heat vents, which we were proposing. What the additional requirements that we were going beyond were having an automatic smoke control for that ventilation. I think Mr. Parikh had asked that question whether it was required. So the ventilation is required. What was different, what we were proposing was the automatic mechanical smoke removal. And we'll get into that in a little more detail, but I just wanted to answer that question quickly. And then additionally, the question that was asked was for us to identify and analyze reasonable worst case scenario fires. Our experts spend additional time understanding the operational requirements of the proposed use, spend time talking to Rhodes' operational people, reviewing their procedures, did additional computational fluid dynamic modeling, and came up with what he believed were the worst case fire scenarios. And Bob will be testifying to that in a second. Ultimately, the pallet fire that we described was still the worst case fire that we could come up with reasonably. One of the other things that was mentioned that we determined was the liquid propane gas line, if that were to catch fire. So we reviewed that. That was actually lower in the megawatts than the wood pallet fire, but we still looked at it. And in that review and design, and like I said, we're trying to get this right, that requires a manual shut off at the tank farm. We're proposing an automatic shut off at the building. So if there is a fire event or a detection, that'll automatically shut off that gas line versus relying. So that's one of the additional mitigation factors that we're proposing. Finally, is for additional mitigation factors, and I'll get into this in more detail again, but I just want to set the table. There were additional catwalks in the middle of the building. So as you may recall, we have, and I think it's up on screen now, we have the office area, the toilet room areas were all fully sprinklered. The catwalk areas, there's 2 stories of catwalk areas that we expect to be occupied by workers during fabrication. We're proposing sprinklering those areas as well with where people will be occupied. And speaking with the roads team and Mr. Rhodes, we thought that that was an additional safety measure for the lower ceiling areas where people are occupied, to add additional fire protection on those areas. I think the upper catwalk areas are really not typically occupied. So I think they're just for maintenance. So with that, I want to turn it over to Bob Moser and just really walk through some of the work that we've done, explain our findings, and then we can go into a little more detail of the additional mitigation measures. So with that, Bob, do you just want to give a quick summary of the additional studies that you conducted after our last meeting and what you found?
Yeah, so what I did was I interviewed Rhodes to make sure that I identified all the possible combustible loading for the facility. And I came up with 9 of them. Actually, more like 10, but the last ones are well controlled. So the combustible wood pallet still is a very significant fire. FM states that as one of their highest fire risks would be that. It's like kindling. That's the reason why it gives off so much heat. The LPG piped into the building came in a close second. That came around 1.8 megawatt. It's a significant fire. So that would be also a very large fire. ICFD modeled the LPG fire as well as the wood pallets. For the LPG fire, that gets significant heat at the ceiling, slightly below that of the wood pallets. Again, well below sprinkler operating temperatures, though. So the other thing that I did was I verified if we shut off the LPG with smoke detection or with a fire detection system, then the fire goes out rather quickly within 5 minutes, and then we don't get a very significant amount of smoke or heat, which gets exhausted by the smoke control system.
Bob, you modeled it both ways, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that would be the LPG, and then also modeled one other thing, and that was I found out that there's temporary scaffolding used, and that's up to 35 feet because they come out from the center. And those would be OSHA rated scaffolding. Primarily metals are used, fire treated lumber, but if non-fire treated lumber was used on that scaffolding, that would be a 35-foot high fire. So that's closer to the ceiling. So I wanted to check and see what that would do. And I found out by the CFD that that also was not significant heat at the ceiling and not as big as the wood pallet fire.
And Bob,
So-
what are the heats for these? I mean,
Yeah, they're right up on the screen at that table there if you go. Oh, I see the temperature, yes. So I think it was 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I changed everything to Fahrenheit too, because it's hard for me to figure out Celsius like it is everybody else. So I changed it to Fahrenheit. So you see there, you get like up to 95 at the ceiling degrees Fahrenheit. I shot the LPG directly at the ceiling because I figured that would be the worst case, right? So if we went to the side or down, it would be much less, but I shot it at the ceiling. I got like a 20-foot high flame, right? So big flame, but I still only got 95-degree Fahrenheit at the ceiling.
and just to confirm, it's 154 degrees to activate the sprinkler.
Correct. 154-degree would be the lowest recommended temperature for the sprinklers to operate.
And then how about on the pallet fire, the last worst case that we discussed?
Yeah, that temperature went to 118 degrees Fahrenheit. The pallets are quite a large fire. The fire model that I use actually does do the combustion, so therefore each fire is quite different in the fact that, like, for instance, the LPG fire develops far less smoke than the fire of the pallets. They develop a lot of smoke.
Do you want to go back to the list of fires, Andre? So, Bob, just what size fire? I think you did a you did a model and you did a testing, or you looked at testing. What size fire would, in this scenario, in this building, would trigger the sprinklers?
Yeah, so that's what I did. I wanted to do a sensitivity analysis to find out where that number would be. Because in the large scale fire testing, they came up with the number of 11.7 megawatt for a 2.5 they came up with 11.7 megawatt fire to set off 155-degree Fahrenheit sprinklers at a similar height. Actually, they were a little bit lower than this height, but they did that, and so that was the large scale fire testing. So the CFD model is developed by NIST, and it should be within 20% of the large scale fire modeling. So I went back, did a sensitivity analysis. So for our building with the 102 feet height, and with a fire similar to the ones that we did for the wood pallets, I came up with 10 megawatt as the fire that would set off the sprinklers. If you can look at it, it would set off if you can see that little temperature at the top there, that's where it would set off that sprinkler. So it was just on the edge of where it would set it off. So I think it agreed with the large scale fire testing pretty well. I was happy about that because it was within the 20% and more conservative.
So between modeling and testing, we're between 10 and 11 megawatts to actually set off the sprinklers in this type of building.
10 to 11 megawatt.
And so when we take the largest plausible fire, which was the pallets, the liquid propane, if you had I think we discussed a cascading event where multiple things happened, whether and I just want to say because we wanted to make sure we looked at various scenarios, not just isolation. Like when things happen, right? So we looked at and I don't think it's linear, right, Bob? But if you looked at linear, it's actually less than that. But if you added a 2,500 megawatt fire with the 1,800 kilowatt fire with the 1,800 kilowatt fire for the gas line going up, you're still well below the 10,000 kilowatts that would require the sprinklers to go off. So I think Bobby said even if you added up all of these plausible fires, they still would not add up to enough.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And one of the other things I looked at too was the height rating of sprinklers. So sprinklers are only good to 60 feet. So therefore we're at 102. So we're well out of the range of sprinkler design.
Bob, tell us about the overhead cranes. Did you look at the overhead crane if that were to ignite?
Yeah, I looked at the overhead crane, and for that's an electrical fire. So basically speaking, if that went up, the way to stop an electrical fire is not to put water on it. That would be bad. What you need to do is shut off the electrical. So that's how you would address the crane, the electrical fire.
And even so, it's not a large enough scale fire.
No, I only came up. Those are lower kilowatt, higher smoke type fires for electrical fire.
Great. And then I think we walked through the heat. Do you want to just walk through the smoke controls and?
Yeah, what I found was, so I went back, checked my modeling, went through everything, and I think it's up to 75% reduction in the egress area if the smoke control was automatic and you operated it when the smoke was developed. So I think that's a significant savings in amount of CO that would be at those areas. So that not only helps your egress, but that also helps the firefighters if they have to fight the fire, since CO is one of the more dangerous, or the most dangerous thing that you can expose anybody to during a fire, carbon monoxide.
So Bob, just so I'm clear, the the smoke control is required, but it's a manual. So if someone has to go in,
You have to,
go
yeah,
to
you
the
have to
fire
turn it
room
on.
and turn it on. And what we're proposing is automatic, that when the fire alarms go off or whatever
When it detects.
when it detects, the smoke controls automatically go on
It'll
and start.
automatically go on and will exhaust. So I looked at that too with the LPG fire. After 30 minutes, it exhausted all the smoke, which is really good, right? After the fire. So I think it's beneficial for an automatic versus manual system. I believe in the code, it has a manual system just so the firefighters could exhaust the smoke after the fire's over. But I think it's better to exhaust the smoke as the fire is going.
So just and again, I'm just a land use lawyer, so I'm speak like a layman here, but the code really doesn't contemplate this type of building, correct?
No, this is outside the realm of building code, 102 clear feet to a fire load.
I mean, that's what, basically 10 stories open, so it's not, so I guess there's an inconsistency because there's a sprinkler requirement is rated at 60 feet and the building height is 102 feet.
Right.
So what we're proposing is additional mitigation measures that are not in the code, that we think will actually be improve the physical condition here that sort of not exactly fits in the box. So adding the additional automatic shutoff valve for the liquid propane gas, adding the automatic venting, which is additional beyond the code, and then adding additional sprinklers in the occupied mezzanine catwalk areas. I mean, I guess that is required, but we wanted to make sure that we added that from what our original proposal was. So Bob, I'll leave it with this. In your expert opinion, would granting this variance with the conditions proposed, would they create an unsafe condition in this building?
No, it would not create an unsafe condition. And I think that the fire protection for the building is much better with what we're proposing.
And I'll Jeff, just a reminder, the building is completely non-combustible. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think that's all I have. I'll turn it over to questions.
Okay.
If you have any additional questions. Andre, you have anything else to add?
I think we touched on this a little bit, but you also looked at the fire from the temporary scaffolding if the fire were not at the ground floor, but the on an elevated platform, and that still wouldn't set off the fire sprinklers. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, because all it is OSHA rated pine, heavy pine wood planks. Now that is if they're not fire rated, and I think the plans are for the facility to provide either fire rated or metal planks for that. So that's but you never know over a long time of a building what you're going to get. So I wanted to check it.
So we just I guess the last thing we wanted to let you know of all of the worst case scenarios that we tried to study.
So what you did, you put automatic smoke controls in, you sprinkled the mezzanine, and you put a shutoff valve in for the liquid natural gas, whatever's coming in.
Automatic.
Automatic, okay.
The occupied parts of the mezzanines.
Yes,
Correct.
the occupied parts.
I did want to confirm with the fire department, would they prefer, would they want a manual shut off with it? So let's say the system has automatically activated. Would there ever be a time in firefighting operations where they would want to intervene in that operation and shut it off?
Yeah, both would be good. I mean, the automatic function's great, but there may be, you could think of a scenario where that could be the case. I do have one other question though. Again, I tend to be on the side if the system, to put in a system that really you can't scenario where you really need it just for the sake of putting it in doesn't seem prudent to do. However, being in the buildings I've been in, you can have the same type of occupancy, but later the process changes for some reason. So I think you're building submarines or ships in this building, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, what you need to do, the interior of the building, which maintains the same occupancy, now the design is different, and now a sprinkler system would be beneficial. What's to stop from a process change, or maybe now you need higher scaffolding, or you need something different where if we took another look at this down the road based on the new process in the building that has the same occupancy type, there might be some different scenarios. That would be my only concern.
It's a good question. I would say, I mean, we have a 10-year contract with the Navy to build, the submarine decking. I mean, I think everything at the Navy Yard is shipbuilding right now. And most of the shipbuilding, I mean, Rhodes Industries has been in business for 125 years. Their business has been and continues to be metal fabrication. So I don't see a scenario where we go back to building wood ships or something different, but
or anything, the process inside the building, or the interior structures, or something changes inside because you got a new contract, something's changed, and what you're planning on doing right now and the processes which you're scenarioing somewhat change. And I know that, like you say, we can scenario this to death, but that would be the thing, because, an assembly occupancy or a manufacturing occupancy, it could still stay a manufacturing occupancy, but all of a sudden it changes inside of how you do it. So if I'm looking at any risks in the future, that's just one that comes to mind.
It's a fair. I mean, I think just knowing Mr. Rose, I think if it was something where it was more risky, he'd probably put the sprinklers in at that point, since we have everything there. But I understand that's not.
So, John, you're basically saying if at some point in the future a new floor was inserted where you had less than the 60-foot kind of clearance, at that point sprinklers would be expected, and going through the permitting process, that's probably what would be required.
That's right. If we added new floors, or we reduced I mean, I can't see a scenario. And I actually asked this, if we turned this thing into a warehouse and did racking, I still can't see a scenario where you do racking 100 feet to the and I just don't think that's. We have plenty of vacant warehouses in the city. I don't think that's what it's
right. And to Ted's point, if you're going to do any type of construction inside where you're modifying, you're going to have to get permits, and it would probably trigger it anyway.
That's right. That's right.
My comment is, can we get a signed and sealed report? I don't think this report has a company name on it or anything.
I can sign and seal that. I'm a PAPE.
Okay.
Professional engineer for PA. I can seal it if you wish.
Absolutely.
Was that Mr. Moser speaking? I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's me, Mr. Moser, yes.
Thank
you. Okay. John, do you have anything else before we caucus?
No, I'm good, Wayne.
All right, pal. Okay, we're going to caucus for a minute or so, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Is John on? John Kelly?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. All right. We reviewed this. We're going to grant the variance with certain provisos. Okay. One, the automatic smoke controls with either automatic controls and also controls that the fire department could come in and also turn it on to evacuate more smoke. We want to fully energize fully engineered panel that would send, the message to a monitoring service if there was a fire in there. Because right now, if there was a pallet fire, I guess the smoke detection would signal that there's a fire and something like that. But we want something to be sent to the monitoring company and then also then to the fire department. John, do you need anything else in that area?
No, Wayne, we don't.
Okay. Am I missing anything? If there was ever an elevated fabrication shop that was less than 60 feet from the roof, then I guess that would all come in with the permits and stuff like that. We just want to mention it. So we make sure that nothing skips. And we want any LPG lines with automatic shuttles. Okay, with the smoke detector, as soon as the smoke detector, boom. Okay.
Or other fuel sources if
Yeah.
that changed in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Is that about it? Okay. Pradeep, you have anything?
No, that was it. Thank
I
you.
believe, did we already mention the sprinklers at elevated walkways?
Yeah, we wanted to just document what you presented, which was the local sprinklers at the elevated walkways, just to memorialize that in the proviso.
Okay. That's about it. Okay. All right. Good luck, guys. I'm glad you came back with something that we could work with. I mean, we just can't give things out,
Just to complete the record, if all the board members could say aye to memorialize their vote.
I
Yes.
agree with those provisos and granting the variance.
I agree as well.
I also agree.
I agree, granting with the provisos.
Good luck, guys. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You can stay right there.
I'm the farthest thing from your honor that can be. I'm Wayne.
Mr. Jones, we'll get to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your patience. I saw that you were in the waiting room.
Okay, so
Thank you.
we're,
Yes.
Case number 2.
okay. Are just you two guys going to be testifying?
Yeah.
Could you state your name and raise your right hand so I can swear you guys in? Okay.
Jafani Fatah Kamal Keita.
Yeah, it's got to turn on.
My name is Jafani Fatah Kamal Kape.
Okay, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Nothing but the truth, sir.
Okay.
Jerome Henry, licensed expediter. I handled her case, put all the things together, got all our permits and finalized with compliance.
Okay, could you raise your right hand?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. First, could I have the first witness spell her name, please? I did not get it clearly.
Her name is on the application. if that helps.
JAHFANIEKARPEH.
Thank you.
Right. That's right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's, you only need the first. Could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pradeep Parekh, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel. I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Megan Flay, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Okay, before we start, we're going to, before you read it into the record, we're going to vote on the late appeal. I don't have a problem with the late appeal. I'm in favor of it.
I accept the late appeal.
I accept the late appeal.
I accept the late appeal.
Okay, Deb, could you read that into the record, please?
This is case number 2, MI 2025-002304 for 5125 Malcolm Street.
Okay, going to present the case. Go ahead.
Yes, the work that was in violation, it all was completed with a licensed contractor, and the inspectors came out and inspected everything and signed off on everything. Everything's been complied with.
Okay. Megan, you have anything to add?
I swear her in.
Oh,
I
yeah,
swear.
Megan, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. Yes, the department has a notice of compliance with the date of June 16th, 2025. The case is closed.
Okay. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. That's what I like.
And I'll send you out notes for that other one, for the 16th.
Let's see. All right,
Okay, number two.
we're on number 3.
Great, I'm sorry, number
Yes.
3112.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Uh,
is case number 3,
mhm.
MI 2023-007014 for 900 through 04 North Broad Street.
Is Mr. Wright here? Oh, it's complied. Oh. Okay, Meg, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Is
I
this
do.
case complied?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Do you need the date or no?
sure, we'll take the date.
Okay, it was 900. A compliance receipt was 4/18/2024.
Okay. Thank you. All right,
Number 4.
number 4.
Number 4 on the agenda is MI 2025-007438 for 1231 South Marco Street. I think I'm spelling that right.
Mhm.
This one.
What's that then? Okay. Okay. Megan, could you raise your hand, please? Can you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Has this case been complied?
Yes, 1231 South Marcoux Street was complied 5/3/2024.
4? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, next case.
Number 5.
Okay,
Number 5, MI 2025-006579 for 1622 South Conestoga Street.
okay. Is anyone here from North Star Holdings?
Blasilda
No.
Gebrselassie.
Excuse me?
I'm here. I'm in the Zoom meeting.
Okay, you're here for Conestoga Street?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you, you're going to be testifying. Could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name's Wayne Miller, board member.
I'm Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay,
Meg-
Deb. Oh, I'm sorry, Meg. Go
That's
ahead.
okay. Megan Flay, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Okay, before we read this into the record, we got to vote on the late appeal. I'm in favor of it.
I agree to accept the late appeal.
I agree to accept the late appeal.
I agree to accept.
Okay. Deb, read it into the record.
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, Megan, do you have anything on this?
I do. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Can you
This
raise your
is-
right, can you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
So before, this is an unsafe property. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, it's
We can
coming
see
up.
your screen.
Okay. So the address of 1622 South Conestoga Street was written as unsafe September 22nd, 2025, with an appeal filed in October. This violation is written for fire damage to the main roof and front bay. This is what the property looked like at the time of the fire. And that is it. So the department is looking for a permit to be issued in 60 days.
Okay, permanent in 60 days?
Yes.
Okay. Miss, do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, sir. As on record, we appealed it and we reported that we did not have the insurance money at that time. The insurance money came, or the notice, the letter came to me second week in December of 2025. And at that time, I tried to understand what my insurance, which is a lender-placed insurance, was, what is their process. It was quite difficult to understand because what they had on paper and what they were telling me were not quite the same. I know that I had to look at least 3 scope of work or 3 proposals to compare. And I was waiting to have the insurance adjuster's report, so that I have something to go by for to ask for requests for proposals. I never got that. I also had to budget the property expenses for, as I was informed, 6 months, before, which is the time to finish the repair. And all this while I'm attending to a family emergency. My husband had an accident also in September and had to have surgery, and it was scheduled in December. I really felt pressured, and I would, I also can tell that it would take a lot to rebuild the house, the time, the effort, emotional energies to deal with contractors, permits, insurance claims people. So I started to consider options to sell, because my family and personal needs are emerging to outweigh my business needs. So came January, and I had to look for a way to sell it fast, knowing that things need to be done. So I researched how to actually sell the house and use the claim funds at the same time. But talked to lawyers, I talked to title companies, I talked to my mortgage company, the lender-placed insurance people, and they didn't know what I was talking about. So as it turned out, those, as far as their actual practice, those 2 processes are 2 different processes, separate. You cannot do it all at one time during a closing of a purchase. So I had to go each separate route. I did ask for the procedures from my lender-placed insurance company, what their procedure is to use the claim funds to sell the house. And so I had to request a payoff statement. I have to receive the payoff statement and submit that in a letter or email, submitting a letter of intent to use claim proceeds. So this took time, Your Honor. And so to make this long story short, I signed an agreement of sale, and the closing date is in about, depending on how soon can the lien or the title be transferred under my name from the mortgager, because this will require the city of Philadelphia's title people to change the ownership. So it could take up to 60 days.
Okay, are you okay with, Meg, what do we do there? We gave her 60 days to get a permit to get a permit. Now she's going to be selling the home within 60 days.
Do you have an agreement of sale that's signed by both parties?
Yes.
Okay, so then the department would need a copy of that to add to the record. And then what I would say is that the property is unsafe. An agreement of sale is just that. It's an agreement. It doesn't necessarily mean that the sale is going to go through. So What I will ask is in that I want to keep with my 60 days. It is unsafe if the property does not sell in 60 days, that you give the office a call and let us know, and we'll have a different conversation.
Megan, will the violation be reissued to the new owner
Yes,
automatically?
yeah, well, they have to notify us because again, we get our system updates from the Office of Property Assessment, and that's a 6 to 9 month turnaround time for them to update our system. So if we don't know that the property's sold, then we don't. But once we're made aware, we will ask for the new owner's information, and we will manually update our system and send out a new notice, and then that time starts to the new owner all over again.
So 2 questions, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
You said you want a copy of the contract for both. How do I do that?
You can email it to me.
Okay, and okay, email it to Megan Flade.
Megan.Megan.Flade, FLADE @phila.gov.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The other question is, in the 60 days start from the signing of the purchase.
Is
for
it
the
signed?
company? It is signed.
Okay, no, it's going to start from today. So if in 60 days that property does not sell, then you are still responsible for the repairs to the property.
Correct. Okay.
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 All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right now.
We need to vote on whether to grant the 60 days or another period of
Okay.
time.
I'm in favor of granting the 60 days.
I'm in favor of granting the 60 days.
I agree with 60 days.
I agree with 60 days.
Okay. Good luck now.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
luck. Mhm.
Bye.
Okay, Deb,
Next one.
number 6.
Mr. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Craig
He's in the waiting room.
Attig, yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I'll read it in record. This is
Okay,
case number 6.
Okay,
Go ahead.
case number 6. All right.
MI 2025-007439 for 2000 West Gerard Avenue.
Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Pretty Breck, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Megan Flade, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Okay. Meg, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, all truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And we don't swear lawyers in because they tell the truth. All right, Meg, can you give us a little bit about this case?
I can. First, I just want to ask, Mary Attig is listed as the property owner, but she's not legally the owner of the property anymore, or?
Yeah, she was. This is a family project, and in
Okay.
trying to get the permits, we moved the property back into my name as it was originally in my name. So I could actually be sworn in as the property owner at this point.
Well, I don't, okay, yeah, the deed is no longer in her name, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Could you raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, all truth, nothing but the truth? He said he wants to be sworn in because of the owner of the property. Okay, all
I
right,
do, yes.
good, okay. All right, what do we do with this case?
So the property was deemed as unsafe by the department January 9th, 2024 for rear and side bays in disrepair. If you allow, I will share my screen.
Yes, go
All
ahead.
right, thank you. Maybe my computer seems to have gone to sleep. All right, give me a second. All right, let me know when you can say it.
Yeah, there we go, it's coming up now.
It's coming up? Okay.
Coming up now, give it a second, there you go.
There we go. All right. So the property is try to get the photos to you. So this is the rear bay,
That's the side bay
the
there.
side bay. I'm sorry, the pictures are deceiving. Side bay,
That's the rear bay.
that's the rear bay. All right. Looks like some overgrowth is starting to appear. So the department is looking for a permit to be issued in 60 days.
I certainly don't oppose that. And in fact, we've signed up a contractor such that I expect this permit to happen in the next 2 weeks. So 60 days.
Just, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just, I don't know if you are aware that an architect or an engineer is required to write a report on how the repairs need to be made. So before a contractor can come down and apply for that make safe permit, he will need to have a copy of a stamped engineer's report on how those repairs are to be completed.
Yep, I understand. And in fact, we attempted to get the permits before and submitted an engineering report and complete plans. And everything was pretty much okay with L&I, with the exception that we didn't have a contractor's signature. So now we have a contractor's signature. The process should go through.
Okay, so 60 days for a permit to be issued.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you very much, board members.
You're welcome.
Have a great afternoon.
I'm in agreement with the 60-day.
I'm
Time
also in
period.
agreement with the 60 days.
I am as well.
I agree. Extension of time.
All right, good deal.
Thank you for
You all.
attending.
All right now,
Have a good day.
number 7.
Okay, number 7 is number 7, MI 2025-007440 for 2235 Fernon Street.
Okay. All right,
Megan will have to verify that.
Meg? could
Yes.
you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about Vernon Street?
I have that the property was complied July 10th, 2024.
July 10th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's good. Let's move on.
Guys,
to the
we're
next.
moving on pretty quick today, huh?
That's right. That's what we do. Okay.
You can sit here.
Mhm.
And then you can sit there. Okay. All right, let's get the board edge.
Okay,
Okay, so this is case number
case number 8, correct.
8.
Okay. First of all, is both you guys going to be testifying?
Yes.
Okay, could you state your name and please raise your right hand?
Tiffany Patterson?
You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am?
Katina Paris?
Okay, you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Matthew Webster, Port Council.
Matthew Wojcik, L&I supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Megan
we-
Flade. Oh,
I'm sorry,
Go ahead,
I'm
Megan,
sorry,
go.
Meg.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Megan Flade, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Meg, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, we will vote on the late appeal. I'm in favor of the late appeal.
I'm in favor of accepting the late appeal.
I'm in favor of accepting the late appeal.
I agree to accept the late appeal.
Okay,
So I'm going to read.
read it into
This
the
is case
record.
number 8, MI 2025-006438 for 2736 North 28th Street. Appellants are in the hearing room.
Okay, Meg, could you tell us a little bit about this case?
Yeah, the department wrote the property as unsafe in September of 2025 for the rear deck, outside door collapsed, easement, the sidewall windows, loose and missing bricks above the lintels, the main roof deteriorated, rear chimney broken. So I will share my screen if that is okay with you.
Yes.
All right.
Excuse me, this is the court reporter. Could I have the name of the first person who was sworn, and could she spell it, please?
Yes, Tiffany Patterson, that's Tiffany Patterson, Patterson.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I will show the photos that were taken September 2025, interior, exterior. So the department will be looking to have a permit issued in 60 days.
Yes, I did send it to you.
Okay, could you want to present your case?
Yes, Your Honor, or Mr. Miller.
Wayne, just
Wayne, okay, Wayne. Yes, we are planning to get these repairs done as soon as possible. We already spoke with a contractor as well. We spoke with the engineer and the architect to make it safe, to get everything submitted to you guys and everything safe and all the repairs fixed. That's what we're working on. We do need some time because we are going through a financial hardship. So we just need a little bit more time to get everything safe and get all these repairs done. That's all we're asking for. It's just granted more time to get everything done. We're working on it. This is my mother. She's very, very sick. Believe it or not, she's a stroke survivor. And I'm just here to help her and support her through this crisis.
Does she live at the property? I'm just asking.
My mom, yes,
Yeah.
she is living at the property.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I know it's not the best condition, but we have had the last 5 years has been rough in our life.
So the most I'm willing to go is 90 days for an issued permit with work started. I'm not wholly comfortable, but if but 90 days issued permit.
Megan, just to clarify, in terms of process, the expectation would be that once the permit is applied for, it should be issued within, say, 5 business days of the application.
If they have everything that they need, the review time for an unsafe property, 5 business days, right, Pradeep? It's still 5 business days?
You might
Yeah.
ask
Oh,
Matt.
that's right. I forget. Okay.
Right here.
So, yeah. Oh, Matthew,
Yes,
Matt, I'm sorry. I didn't see your picture up on my on my screen. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a 5 business day,
Yes.
provided that they have everything that they need when the engineer reviews the application and plans. If they do not have everything that they need at that time, the review stops and a request for additional information is sent out, and the review will not, they have 10 days, to
Yes.
return that additional information. And if that does not happen, then they will abandon that application. But yes, if they have everything that they need, a permit can be issued in that 5 days.
Okay.
It's,
All right. I just want
as-
to.
Just
Has
a
the
moment, I'm
property
sorry,
owner
Ms. Patterson.
or their daughter, sorry.
That document that was sent to me and the board, right?
Yes.
Was it sent to L&I, to Megan? In the interest of fairness, let's send it to all parties. And I believe the board member had a question, and then, I'm sorry to interrupt, then you can proceed.
Okay,
So
no
Board
problem.
member Perez?
Megan, I'm going to send you an email.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries, no need. Ms. Patterson, you mentioned you've
Patterson
spoken
is-
to an architect, an engineer.
Yes, we have. We're trying to set up a
Okay,
meeting.
did
with
they-
them. I'm sorry.
Just the question was, have they given you a timeline of depending on the level of work? Have they taken a look at the work, or have they given you a timeline?
Yes, he did come out and look at the work. Far as the timeline, I need to confirm with him to see how long it's going to take him to actually give us the actual proposal and permit to submit to you guys. So I need more time on that.
And you also have a general contractor
Yes.
that is intended to do the work. They have to be certified, registered with the city. So as long as all
Yes,
that
it is. It's on a proposal that I submit to Ms. Deborah, correct? Yes.
I also just want to ask, just to like double check, taxes are all up to date, right? Because if taxes are not up to date and there's not an agreement in place, the department will not issue a permit to
Yes, I have
you.
an agreement. We on a payment arrangement for the
Okay.
taxes.
Okay,
Yes.
All right.
Did you get the email, Meg?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
So is 90 days good?
Honestly, Wayne,
Mhm.
I would like more time if it's possible.
Okay. All right, we're going to give you 120 days. Amy, in favor of that?
I would be in favor of that.
I can accept that, yes.
Pradeep? 120 days.
I can agree to that.
Okay.
Yep.
You got 120 days.
Thank
How's
you
that?
so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, Sampson Street. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Mr. Jones. Okay,
Yes,
Jeff.
Jasper Jones.
Okay,
Mr.
Jasper, how you
Jasper
doing?
Jones, Bell.
Getting ready to call your case in.
We're gonna call your case, okay?
Okay.
Jasper, you're gonna be, you're the only one going to be speaking in this case?
That is correct.
Okay, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, all right. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
I'm Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Megan Flay, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Megan, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, can you read that into the record, Deb?
This is case number 9, MI 2025-005851 for 4538 Sampson Street.
Okay, before we get started, we'll vote on the late appeal. I don't have a problem with the late appeal.
I accept the late appeal.
I accept the late appeal.
I accept the late appeal.
Okay. Meg, could you tell us a little bit about this project?
It is unsafe, but Mr. Jones and the department came to an agreement for a permit to be issued in 60 days.
Agreement on permit for 60 days?
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Jones, is that correct?
That is correct. I spoke to my general contractor on Tuesday. He said 3 to 4 weeks for them to get the work plan together and go down there and pull the permit.
Okay.
He
Fine,
has the
perfect.
engineering report from L&I, and he's working from that.
Okay, excellent. That's very good. All right. So good luck and that's all there is to it. All right.
Okay, thank you for your honors, for your attention to this matter.
Okay, no problem. Good luck.
Thank you.
For your patience,
Talk to
Mr.
you.
Jones.
Bye-bye. Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
number 10. 2542 Sheridan Street.
this is an ID property, just to let you guys know.
Okay. Yeah, I see it on here, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, have a seat.
Sheridan.
Okay. Mr. Sheridan, how you doing?
Been better.
That's it. Have
Oh,
a
it's-
seat. I know what you mean. Okay, I'm going to swear you in before we get started. State your name.
Howard Stein, STEIN.
Okay, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
I'm Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Megan Flay, Department of Licenses and Inspections.
Megan, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about this, this job? This project?
2542 South Sheridan Street was issued by the department as eminently dangerous on February 3rd, 2026, for a severe bulge to the front wall. I will share my
While you're
screen.
sharing, I'm going to read it into the record, okay?
Okay.
Right, Deb,
It's
sorry.
fine. Case
Sorry,
number
Deb.
10, no, it's fine. MI 2026-000675, 2542 South Sheraton Street. Mr. Stein is in person today.
All right. Okay, Meg, so
Go ahead.
this building or a home has been deemed ID.
Yes.
Okay.
For a severe bulge in the
in
front wall. So
Pictures? Okay, there you go. All right.
yeah, I mean, they're hard to see. I know that Mr. Stein has contacted the office numerous times. He's contacted city council. He's contacted everybody in regards to the imminently dangerous violation. I did consult with the demo supervisor on a time frame for this property, and he and I were in agreement that a permit to be issued in 30 days.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on your pictures?
Yes.
Or
Is
just-
this the one that you want to
Yeah, that one, maybe the next one too.
hear, or that's all we have? So we have this one. We have
That one, I guess.
And
the one from the side?
Yeah, if you give me, I'll go. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need it a little bit more, or is that
No, that,
okay?
and is that all your pictures?
Page 7 is a better picture in terms of the displacement of the brick from at least my perspective.
Okay.
Page 7 of the PDF. I don't know. It's what
This
page is it?
is, oh, this
Page
is 4.
6
Oh,
of
I'm
the-
sorry. I was seeing 7. This is 4 of 7. Okay, 6 of 7, 7 of 7. There we go.
No,
think.
sorry. Yeah, so you can see the brick kind of.
I see a dislodged brick.
Yep. And then 6 of 7. The
And then this one.
yes, and 6 of
Yeah.
7. You can see near the window where the lintel meets. You can see kind of a break in the line.
And then here you can see the pull. So the department is looking for a permit to be issued in 30 days.
Okay. Mr. Stein, can you plead your case?
I would think 60 would probably be a better date to get clement weather, as it were. I hate to see people on scaffold when it's under 40 degrees doing masonry work.
You can do masonry work. Anything above 28 degrees is fine with masonry work to be done with the pointing and the cement. It's yeah.
If it's a pavement,
No, brick. Putting the brick up the brick wall. Okay, you can do it. It's under 28 degrees. You cannot. Over 28 degrees, you can.
Mr. Stein, is this occupied? Do you live there? Or
yes,
you do? Okay, so,
but they got me scared when it says imminent. So I've been couch
You've been
hunting.
concerned. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, is
It-
this,
It's been in my family since 1921 and was built in 1912.
Mhm.
And
Megan,
I want to get it fixed.
I couldn't tell from the photos. Is this
It's not that
above
bad.
a sidewalk, or what is the,
is it, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
is this facing a sidewalk?
It's hard to tell from the pictures, but I can, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I will kind of do a Google of the front of the property just to see.
I guess my question is, if it is facing a sidewalk or other public way, is it protected? Is there any fencing or anything that would protect it?
There's a porch.
Yeah. Do you want to, why don't you come on up and
It's-
show us that? Can't see. Yeah, Megan, he's showing us a photo on
Yeah.
the phone.
If there is a sidewalk, in the front.
Yeah, it appears to be set back from the sidewalk by a, sort of front porch, an uncovered porch. So it's, 4 or 5 feet back.
Mr. Stein, have you reached out? Oh, I'm sorry, you're still showing photos.
Oh, am I still sharing my screen, Pradeep? Oh.
No, I had a
Oh,
question
okay.
for Mr. Stein. No, he's still showing photos for people in the room.
It's imperceptible to me.
It's clearly a dangerous situation that needs to be corrected. Our concern is whether it.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter.
You should go back to.
I had noted that I could see the bulge in pictures. I could see a separation at the windows of the brick whites.
All right, and Meg, you recommend 30 days to get a permit?
I consulted with the demo supervisor, and he also agreed that a permit should be issued in 30 days.
Mr. Stein, I think the one thing that'll happen, you'll have a permit in place. Obviously, the contract will be driven by the weather. If there's an extreme day, we'll have to push it, but there'll be a certain amount of time, to get it done, and it should be done as soon as the weather permits.
Okay.
Once he gets an issued permit in 30 days, work has to start within 10 days of the issuance of that permit. And then once it starts, it needs to be continuous. If it stops, then the department can expire that permit. If he doesn't start work, the department can expire that permit.
So basically, you probably have 40 days to get the permit and get ready to go to work. And that'll take you in, to the end of March. So the weather will be fine by then. Okay. And if there is a problem, then, they're going to hold you for a day. You got,
Mr. Stein, they take imminently dangerous citations very seriously. So stay in touch with the inspector so he knows what you're doing.
The demo supervisor is Michael Farley. Any properties, they go through, any ID properties go through him and his unit. Are you guys agreeing on a permit in 30 days?
yes.
Okay.
Normally, Mr. Stein, when it's intimate, we require it in 10 days. That's what we do with the board, because when it's intimately dangerous like that, we have concerns. So, but we'll take the recommendation of the city for the 30 days to get a permit and then start the work.
Megan, can you give him Michael Farley's phone number?
I will. And also the violation calls first for an architect or an engineer to go to the property to write a report on how the repairs need to be made. So before you can apply for the permit, you need that report to come with whomever is going to apply for that permit. If you don't have it, they will not accept your application. So, but the supervisor is Michael Farley, and his phone number is 215-686 2480. I do believe that you have spoken to him already.
No, he hasn't.
A few days ago, but
Maybe the contractor may have spoken to him.
someone, we've received multiple phone calls from, for this address, in the last, city council. But yes, 30 days for an issued permit. All right.
And the board, just do we grant
Yes.
that?
I agree with that.
I agree with 30 days.
I agree with 30 days.
I agree with the 30-day extension.
Mr. Stein, who is your contractor?
Mr. Robinson,
Okay, just make sure he's a city licensed contractor.
supposedly is,
Okay.
and he has an inline engineer and architect.
Perfect.
Good. Good. Good luck, Mr. Stein.
Okay. That's it then, I guess.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
All right, good luck now.
Megan, while
Thank you.
we've
Enjoy the rest
completed
of
the
day.
violations, I've got a couple sort of procedural questions. If you
Sure.
have a couple minutes.
I have a few minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
You can
there's-
stop recording.
Okay, so are we ready to begin?
1 second, we're waiting for one person to come into the room.
Which case are you waiting for someone?
Number 11 is 2708 to 10 North Fifth Street.
Dan Magno, the applicant, is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Dan, right?
Hi, Dan.
Yeah.
I know, Dan. Okay, let's do number 11, all right? Okay. Dan, are you going to be the only one testifying?
Maria Gonzalez, the owner, is here.
Okay, all right, then I'm gonna have, if you're there to testify, I have to swear you guys in. Dan, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and state your name?
I do. Dan Magno.
Okay, and the owner?
Hello, my name is Maria Gonzalez. I'm president of LASE, and I swear to tell the truth as well.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
Let me read it into the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deb,
That's
go
okay.
ahead. Yes.
Case number 11, MI 2026-000776 for 2708 through 10 North Fifth Street.
Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Okay, this is an existing three-story masonry building with heavy timber plank floors supported by steel beams, and it's protected throughout with an NFPA 13 sprinkler system. The upper two floors are vacant, and we did a preliminary plan review to occupy those floors, and we were refused for the occupancy of the third floor because there's only one means of egress from that floor. The square footage of the third floor is 1,600 square feet, and we estimate there would be 10 occupants with a 59-foot floor travel distance. According to table 504.4, for a business use in a type 3B construction with no sprinklers, it would be allowed to be 3 stories. But we have an NFPA 13 system, which would have allowed us to go to 4 stories. So we're suggesting that the existence of the sprinkler system mitigates the fact that there's only one exit from the third floor. And we would be able to occupy the second floor by, according to the code, with one exit because it's allowed in this construction type for that use.
Matthew Wojcik, can you comment on that?
Right. Okay. So, one important thing to point out is that back in 2009, this building had a affidavit of a restricted use issued for it, along with the building permit for just renovating the first floor. And it seems that the reason for that was because of this single exit condition back then also. Despite the fact that, yes, like I did check, they did get a permit to install sprinklers throughout the entire building, not just the first floor, the entire building. But because of that single exit condition, we couldn't issue a permit for renovations to the entire building as Group B, just the first floor. So back then, they got an affidavit of restricted use saying that they would only use the first floor as Group B. And then the second, third floors would be sealed with the means of egress issue to be resolved at a later date is something that was on one of the permits. So because they're opening that back up, it's essentially going from vacant to group B. So so no matter what it was before, it's going to a higher hazard category because it was treated as nothing before. It's going from nothing to something.
The for L&I, the affidavit of restricted use was for the second and third floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second and third floor, yeah.
Would does the second floor comply with the single exit provisions?
Let me double check that. At this table, oh, come on.
And then
being very unresponsive today because of the Zoom call eating up all my laptop resources. Second story, it can be allowed as long as the maximum occupant load is no more than 29 and the maximum common path of egress travel distance is no more than 75 feet.
Mr. Magno, are you able to share the layout of the building or floor plans or something we could see?
Yes.
If I may interject?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. When we purchased this building, it used to be a die cutting business industrial building many, many years ago. And we purchased it to have one of our office be located on the corridor to provide services to small businesses. At the time, we couldn't occupy the second and the third floor because we didn't have enough funds to be able to install an elevator. And due to the commercial use of the building, we would have been required to install an elevator. And now that we have been able to raise the funds to be able to install an elevator, that's why we wanted to activate the second and third floor. Because even if we would have met the code, we still couldn't use that space because we needed an elevator for handicap access. Also, we're very restricted. I mean, if we had to build another means of egress, we would have done so. But the alleyway in the back, this building is pretty much boxed in the back, and it's just like a 2 or 3 foot alley that even if we built a means of egress from the back, there's nowhere that anyone can go because we're in essence boxed in. And that was how those structures back in the day were built. And there isn't a lot of room back there.
Is this 4 floors or 3 floors?
Three.
Three.
3 floors. Okay. There's just a stairway on the third floor that says going up.
Yeah, that accesses the roof. There's a roof access.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the plot plan up on the screen that shows the existing rear yard that's landlocked.
So this is Lieutenant Dimes Fire Code. Is your contention that it's a 3-story fully sprinkler building and you don't need a second means and you by right it should be allowed, or are you looking for a variance?
We're looking for a variance. We understand it's not permitted by right.
Okay, I thought you had said that. Okay, sorry.
But it is permitted it would be permitted on the second floor because we're some 20 non-occupants.
You got it.
And for L&I, the building isn't required to be sprinklered from what I can tell, but I just want to make sure.
No, I don't believe so. The means of egress refusal doesn't depend on the building being sprinklered or not sprinklered.
It's the change to a higher hazard use.
Yeah, solely due to the affidavit of restricted use taking it from essentially nothing to something. So no matter what that something would be, it's always higher hazard because it's going from nothing.
So if they had not gotten the affidavit of restricted use and they had just applied to do this, would it have not required second means of egress?
I mean, I think they might run into that anyway because there are sections in the IABC. I'm going to try and pull them up.
And I guess the other question is a second exit required from the third floor and the second floor, or just the third floor?
They can have a single exit from the second floor. The refusal is specifically about the third floor. Because for the third story above grade plane and higher, it just says not permitted. Then there's no possibility to have it by right.
Click buildings.
And they have a 13 system throughout the building?
Yep, they still got that. They just agreed to not use the second and third floors.
So if this had always been a business occupancy and they were just renovating it, and they had that sprinkler system, they wouldn't be required to do anything else?
No, I wouldn't say so because because the tables for the single exit like occupancies in the existing building code and the new building code, they both prohibit any occupancy from having a single exit at the third story above grade plane and higher. That is not an R2 occupancy.
Yeah, and it looks like they would be renovating the entire floor. So even if there wasn't a change, that level of renovation,
yeah,
I think would still require it. What is those documents?
Was the occupancy before?
See at the third floor.
You're
How
breaking
many
up a
people
lot, by
posed
the way.
right now?
It's like a
Is that
production
better?
Yeah, it was like a die production plan or something like that. I think it would be like F1 or 2, probably F2, I guess. I'd have to go back and check what exactly it said.
Yeah,
It was some kind of manufacturing.
Yeah, it was manufacturing from back in the day. It was a die cutting business.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yes, that operated there for many, many years. And, when we put the affidavit in place, is, because, again, as I mentioned, we didn't have enough funds to install the elevator, so it didn't make sense. And we always anticipated, going back later on and raising the funds to be able to install the elevators so that we can, have programming on the second and third floor. And the programming that we're proposing is just providing technical assistance to small businesses operating from Monday through Friday from, I guess, 9 in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's the only use that, that's been used for commercial office space since we renovated in 2009. And we installed the sprinkler system with the intention, of course, and later on coming back to see if we can get the permission, the variances needed to be able to occupy the second and third floor.
This is Lieutenant Dimes, real quick. So on your paperwork, what did you check that the code doesn't fully apply, that it was written in error, or equal to, or something better? Because they're the three reasons for a variance. So which one of them did you check?
We checked equally good or better.
So you're saying the sprinkler system is equally good as a second exit? That's your contention?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we look at the plan for the third floor again, please?
And Matt, what's the calculated occupant load for the third floor?
Go back and check. Third floor. This here, 10 occupants, and same for so second and third floor are like literally identical in layout, and they both say just 10 occupants.
Okay.
So is there extensive renovations happening? I see existing toilet rooms.
It's not extensive for the most part. It's just going to be painting the walls, and, finishing the bathrooms. We do have bathrooms there, and laying flooring because the flooring there is not finished. We have brand new windows. We had a HVAC in the second floor, and I think we have to just install an HVAC system on the third floor. And most of the capital investments that we're making is to the elevator, so that goes fully to the third floor, and also a new roof. And we have to do some exterior work as well.
And how many occupants do you actually expect there would be on the third floor?
We would not expect no more than maybe 15, I would think, because again, we're going to use it like for flex space for offices. So it's not for congregations. We're not going to have group meetings or things like that. It's only to be able to have like computers and other equipment for small businesses to come in and get services or do some work that they otherwise don't have the resources to do in their business, like access to a computer, a printer, or things like that.
What is the expected layout of the third floor? Because right now it's just a blank slate and you have a line that goes diagonally across the floor, which assumes there's nothing in the middle of the room.
That
So
is
what is
correct.
what is
would
the
just
anticipated layout of the space?
we would just have cubicles. We are not
Oh,
through
un- un-
furnishings. We're not having
right.
walls
So
or anything.
understood, but what would be the layout of those cubicles?
I mean, we can insert
'Cause
it
if
in there.
Yeah, so if you look at the plan,
Mhm.
we have a line from the corner of the room straight into the stairway, which assumes that there's nothing in the middle of the room.
Correct.
People
Correct.
can't go through cubicles, they have to go around cubicles.
So
So what would that dimension become if what you're looking at reflected what the cubicle arrangement would be?
Okay, so when you come up the stairs, where you see where the arrow is on the stairs, that area, we will have just general seating, like a waiting area right there, like maybe similar to that, maybe a couple of chairs. And then against the wall across from the bathrooms, we can have like maybe 2 or 3 cubicles. It looks large, but it's really not a large space. And then in the back, we can have a conference room table. That's what we're envisioning.
Does that path accurately reflect the travel distance from the corner of the room to the exit stairway?
It wouldn't, because they're not showing
Right.
anything in the room.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Okay.
is the project team able to show that for the record? Like what is the anticipated furniture layout, something along those lines, at this point or at this time?
Would it be fair, could we assume that it would be less than 75 feet? Because that's what it would have been for the second floor, for a single.
We don't, I don't think so. And you've also described like a conference room and things like that. So that would probably bump up the number of people. I don't want to make any assumptions. That's why I'm asking.
Right.
So it's just more of you should have a clear idea of what the actual travel distance is going to be for us to gauge the level of variance we're providing,
Mhm.
if at all.
Right. I think in the back, we will have like a conference room table. So again, we're not building any partitions. Everything is going to be open. And then with some like TV, those smart TVs that you can have Zoom meetings and things like that in the back. And then across from the bathrooms, we will have about 3 cubicles or desks. And
No,
then
yeah,
right, and then so I would let the architect. I don't have the ability
I think
to do that.
Based on what Maria's saying, I think we could maintain this travel distance with just the cubicles here.
Yeah, this is a preliminary review, so the level of detail isn't stipulated in your submission, so that's fine. It's just more of how can we? I don't know what the travel distance would be based on your expectation of the layout. So it's
We
difficult
could also
to know.
have a posted occupancy load too.
Yes, that's one. It might be appropriate for the board members to caucus about putting some limits, but originally my concern is the same as Lieutenant Dimes, is that we don't know what this travel distance will actually be based on your intended layout.
All right.
These are some photos of the space. So it's like Maria says, it's not really that large.
It looks large because of the high ceilings, but it really is not.
Mm-hmm.
And the distance between even the back to the door, to the stairways. And I think, Darren, you can show it better than I can. It's not that great of a distance.
Okay. You want to caucus?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, give us a minute. Okay. John, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Here's what we come up with, gang. Okay. On the second floor, 49 people. First floor, 49 people. On the third floor, 15 people with no conference room. Okay. And all floors with the travel distance 75 feet or less. What else do we have?
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
So the sprinkler system is non-required, but
It's not required.
It must be maintained for the life of the building. So in the future, if someone says it's not required, it needs to still be maintained.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, guys, good luck.
Thank you so much.
We're going to poll on that. I'm in favor of it.
I'm in favor of granting the variance with those provisos.
Likewise.
Yep, granting with variance, I agree.
Okay,
Granting
good
with
luck,
provisos,
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next case. 5222 Wakefield Street.
Yes.
Okay, it was, yeah, okay. Reissued or refusal? Yeah, okay. All right, who's here from 5222 Wakefield Street?
Samantha Holmes from Moto Design Shop.
Okay, Samantha, are you a lawyer?
No, I'm the architect.
Are you going to be a witness? And you're, okay, so I'm going to have to swear you in. Could you state your name?
Samantha Holmes.
Can you please raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I swear to tell the whole truth,
Okay,
nothing but
is
the
there-
truth. Yes.
Say yes.
Sorry.
Is there anybody else going to be testifying?
Just me.
Okay. Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Trudy Perek, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Okay.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration, and this is case number 12 on today's agenda, MI 2026-000795 for 5222 Wakefield Street.
Okay, present this case, Samantha.
Sure, yes, thank you. We've been here maybe the past 3 months with the same problem. We have several deep lots that have no alley access, and we've been trying to provide a minimum rear yard of 50 feet for safe egress from the back of the house, single-family houses. We presented this case last month. We only had 48 and a half, so we've reduced the size of the house to be a 50-foot minimum rear yard, and I am happy to share. So the total depth of the lot is 87 and a half feet. The house is 37 and a half feet long, and our rear yard from the deepest part of the house is now 50 feet.
Anybody have any questions on that?
Yes, the only question is the yard that you have there with the gate on, is that would not be a locked gate, there would be access, easy access from the house out and then out to that back area?
That is generally the intent, yes.
Dimes, you have anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, I'm good.
And does that require a variance, given the 50 feet, or is it?
It still does.
Yeah.
It still does, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
The resident Residential code doesn't recognize safe
Oh, right.
disposal areas,
Yeah.
only for
Right.
commercial buildings.
So I'm in favor of granting the variance of 50 feet in the rear yard.
I agree to grant the variance.
I agree to grant the variance.
I agree to grant the variance.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye, Samantha.
Bye,
Bye.
Samantha.
Bye.
Okay. We done with the court reporter? We done with John?
Don, are you good? Mr. Kelly?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, John.
Everyone have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay. See you later.
Bye-bye. Hey, Dimes, how'd you do up in Vermont?
Good, good. We were at J Peak on the border of Canada. We're gonna go to Killington this weekend. So that should be it because March hits quick and it's gonna start getting warm. So we got one more in us and then that's it. Going to the Dolomites next year in Italy where they're having the Olympics now.
Oh, is that where you're
Get out of
going?
here. Oh my God. Very good.
Wow.
Yeah, and the end of next January. So yep, I'm doing it as long as I can. You guys know I'm 60 now. I'm freaking old.
Easy.
Christ, I got shoes that old. What do you mean 60? 60's
So
old.
I got to do this as long as I can. I'm still feeling good.
I got you, Dimes. I'll tell you what, get a set of new knees. You'll be doing it for even longer.
I met a guy real quick. I don't want to hold up everybody, but I met a guy up in Canada at Mount Tremblant. Guy's 81 and still snowboarding. That means he's got to sit down and clip in and stand back up every time. 81 and snowboarding. Crazy.
I got a guy in my local retired, had both his knees done. He's a major league skier out in Aspen and all. And
Right.
he's like 60, probably 65, 67 by now. And he skis constantly with two brand new knees.
Wow. It is. Let me, if nobody else does it, once you get it and you don't have to concentrate on falling anymore,
Yeah.
kind of the freest feeling you can have coming down the mountain, looking around, the beauty of it all. So I kind of got addicted to it in my 50s and then my kids do it. So it's kind of what we do in the winter.
Yeah. The only time I ever went skiing is I was in high school, right?
Right.
He took us on a ski trip.
Oh, you always have bad times
And
on
then
those.
what we did is, naturally, being from the city, you had the drinking and stuff, hiding this, hiding beer and stuff. I fell all the way
Those
down the
Judy
mountain.
kids.
All the way down, I didn't know how to ski. I fell right down the mountain, the whole thing.
John, I'm going to Vermont to ski in the beginning of March.
Are you really? Where are you going?
We're not going to Killington. My daughter's at Dartmouth, so they have their own slopes, so we're going to their slopes.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
only going for a day.
Dartmouth has their own slopes. Did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
You ski, Amy?
I haven't skied in probably 10 years, so I'm a little nervous. So I'm glad I'm not going to Killington.
Yeah, yeah. To me, real quick, and I know I keep babbling here, is you got to get your own equipment. That rental equipment sucks and it hurts your feet.
Yeah, that's like renting golf clubs.